Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby and today we're taking a look at the Malone AirFlow2 roof rack system here today on our 2021 Volkswagen Atlas. Guys, it's gonna be a nice little way of giving yourself a decent little roof rack system without having to break the bank. And of course, one big thing that I really like about it, really easy to get these guys installed. These foot pads take no time at all, and you guys are gonna see later in the installation, you're gonna have these up on here in no time. Now you do have that silver look, of course, so it can be maybe a little harder to match this guy with some of your vehicles at home. Now I think it goes pretty good here with the blue today, and of course black would look pretty nice with it. Silver, not a terrible color to start accessorizing with. However, it is also gonna give you a lot of capability. Not only is it gonna look good, you're gonna have an awesome time, of course, getting your things where you wanna go. With 165 pounds of weight capacity, we're gonna have no trouble getting roof baskets, bike carriers, anything else you really want up on here. And that's gonna be great because, you know, you only have so much room here in the Atlas, as you guys can see. Not too much room in that back corner or that cargo area. Decent enough, of course, but when you start loading a lot of people up on there, it really becomes a problem. I know myself was just in a RAV4 on a vacation, and it was fine for me and the girlfriend. As soon as we got her and her sister and the brother-in-law in there, it quickly became packed. So would have been really nice to go ahead, get yourself or myself, a roof rack system. That way I could have got all those items out of there and really freed up some space. So that's what's awesome about these guys. Of course, and the Malone AirFlow2 is nice because you still have that aero style look. You're getting some of those premium features that you might see on some of your other carriers as well, including a T-slot attachment. And what I like about this guy, you guys can just slot it right through there and slide it down without having to cut that inner strip. That becomes really nice when you are starting to mount your accessories. Now, if you don't have any T-slot attachments, you might be going, well, why do I need that? Well, personally, I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more accessories go to this T-slot style. Clamping systems always work, but they're kind of a pain to use. And those T-slots just make it really easy to go ahead, put in your accessories, run them down the line, tighten them up, and then they stay right where you want them. So that's gonna be awesome, gonna be future-proof for yourself. And of course, you do have just that aero style bar. Everybody's kind of designing their clamps around these guys. So nice that we're not gonna have any issues with fit for the years to come. Well, like I said, that installation is not gonna take too much time. One other really note I like about it too, I do like how each side of these can lock. That's one nice thing about these carriers. If you start comparing them maybe to the Kurt roof mounted cargo carrier, that might be one of its failings. It doesn't have a lock on either side or on both sides. And that's one thing I like about this. You're getting them on this side and on your passenger side. That way you know nobody's gonna be able to mess with them, and that's awesome for ourselves. Well, like I said, that installation takes no time at all. Let's go ahead and see how we can get them on here. All right, guys, to start our installation, we're gonna start by just taking our AirFlow2 here, and what we wanna do is remove these little ends on our cap. To do so, you're just gonna insert your key, of course, turn it, unlock it, pull it right out. You are looking for the other end as well. As you guys can see, we have a little insert available here. However, on this side, it's not actually being used. On the other one though, you can see we have our little bolt here that's gonna go ahead, allow us, our wrench, gonna allow us to actually tighten these guys down when we get them on there. So keep these guys handy, keep it in a pocket somewhere, easy to access. Then we simply wanna grab our bar here and start setting it across our vehicle. So it becomes really easy. You just simply set it like so, trying to get that other foot pad to fit in there, and then we're gonna simply set it just like so. Now the big thing we're looking for here is gonna be our dimensions. So we're gonna go for about 26.5 inches from our back one that we already have set here today. To do so, we're gonna simply measure from the front of our crossbar to the very front of our other one. Looks like we're about 28 inches right now. Honestly, that's not too bad. I'm liking how much space it's actually taken up on here. Now, of course, if your accessories are needing you to be a little bit smaller, that could be something to watch. A lot of these accessory equipments are gonna be looking at about 26 inches to 29 inches for your spread. So 28 is gonna be perfect for us here today. So I can go ahead, simply keep this in this position here. Now, the one thing we do need to look out for though is gonna be our overhang on either side. So the easiest way is just to simply come here to the back of the vehicle, start taking a look at it. As you can see, I definitely want to shift a little bit more to my left here today or towards my driver's side. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. While I'm on this side too, of course, make sure you're checking this end to make sure you have it in the right position. Looks like I'm about an inch off, so I can go ahead and bring it back. There we are, right at that 28 inches for ourselves. And now I can go ahead and start tightening that down. I'm just gonna go ahead and do one last little check here. You can put your tape measure to the inside, of course. Looks like I'm about 5 inches to the edge. I'll repeat that process on the other side to make sure I'm just as even. Of course, the eyeballing it gets you really, really close. And we're about 4 inches there on our overhang to the inside. So it looks like we can come this way just a little bit here. So we're gonna go for about 4.5, maybe underneath that. So about 4.25 I think is gonna be perfect for ourselves. So let me just kind of eyeball it. If I like where it's at, I'm gonna call it good here today. Yep, looking good to me. Let's go ahead and start tightening these down. So we're gonna go ahead and take our included bolt here. And then we can simply insert it right here into this position and start tightening down. Now, if you guys can see here on the side what that's doing, we have that little guy right there. This is gonna start cinching it in, getting us nice and secure here on our raised rail system. Takes just a little while to do, so we'll go until we're completed. And once we get nice and secure here, we can go ahead and repeat that process on the other side. And of course, we can go ahead and reinsert these guys when we're done with them. So this guy's actually gonna store in the other side. So I can go ahead, lock that guy, and now our pad is nice and secure, and so is our crossbar. Now that we have them installed, we can go ahead and start taking a closer look at them on our roof here and how they're interacting with it. So the big things are gonna be how much height we're adding. Probably by eye, not too much, but let's go ahead and see what we're working with. So from the top of that corrugated roof to the very top here, looks like that's gonna be putting us just a hair under 4 inches there for ourselves, guys. So about 3 5/8 there, I'm sorry, 3 7/8 there to the very top. And to the underside here, looks like that's gonna be putting us right around 2 3/4 of an inch of clearance for ourselves. So what's nice about that, that's gonna be plenty of room to go ahead and get those clamp-on accessories as we mentioned. A lot of them just have 2 bolts that kind of stick down just like that. You run up a hand knob or 2 on the other side to clamp it on there, and then you're nice and secure. So I do like how much space we have there while not having too much space in totality, because we definitely want to be able to pull this in the garage and through this drive-throughs, anything like that. So of course, if you guys do have any accessories, go ahead, add that height to the top of that height measurement for our roof rack system, and therefore you'll have a good idea of how much height you're adding to your vehicle. Now the one thing I will say about these guys too, you can see on the underneath here, we have this open track. Now I'm not the biggest fan of this. You could probably start hearing a lot of whistling noise as this starts going down the road. So one thing I would suggest, maybe getting some kind of rubber filling in here. You're gonna see in a lot of other roof rack systems out there, they have strips to be put in there. I'm gonna pretty much assume that there's gonna be an aftermarket way to go ahead and put it in there. However, that is one more step. Hopefully that whistling is not going to be too much, but I really can't speak to that. I haven't taken these guys on a 60-mile-per-hour trip somewhere on the highway, so can't really speak to how much it's going to whistle. However, I know that is a thing that roof rack systems can do. So I would probably find a way of filling this in once I know where my foot pads are set. Nice that we have that whole track, of course, because these guys are universal. We can throw them on other vehicles, so that's what's cool about having that open track. You can shift these however you need, get smaller, get longer, whatever. But you might start hearing a little bit of wind whistle in there. So I would definitely find a way of filling that up, like I said, and therefore I think that's gonna be the biggest shortcoming of the AirFlow2 in my opinion. With it being aluminum and lightweight as well, very easy to throw up on here as you guys saw, and also it's gonna be resistant to corrosion as well, which is great. Now one thing I will say, if you're not being too gentle on it, you can start scuffing these guys really bad on the top. So when you are mounting your accessories, just taking the time to be a little bit more gentle with it, try not to scrape it. If you do have to shift it around on it, try to get at the top here where you can utilize that rubber just a little bit maybe. But again, as long as we're treating it well, it will last us for the seasons to come. Well guys, like I said, the AirFlow2 can be a very nice way of giving yourself a decent little roof rack system. What's nice, again, we're not breaking that bank, but we're still getting a lot of great little features. I love that there's a T-slot attachment, and I'm a really big fan of how easy these guys are to throw on. But what's nice about it is, yes, they're easy to get on, not so easy to get off if you're not us with the key. So love that locking system. Gives me that peace of mind that my roof rack's gonna be there when I leave it unattended. Makes it really easy to start throwing up my other accessories on here too, and getting some locking course on those guys. Now that's one thing I will say, if you're looking for convenience of hooking things up, one thing you could look at too is going to be any of the Yakima models and their towers, as you can start getting all those keyed alike. So if you're really trying to reduce your keychain, you're not wanting your Malone and your roof and your bike carrier and your kayak carrier, you can start looking to get those all keyed alike with Yakima. However, if that's not the biggest deal to you, if you don't mind a couple rings on or a couple keys on your key ring, Malone's definitely going to be nice because I do really like that included security feature being right there and being so easy for me to utilize. Well, again, guys, with that 165-pound weight capacity too, definitely going to be awesome to get what you need to your destination. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Malone AirFlow2 roof rack system here on our 2021 Volkswagen Atlas. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.